This is Talking Divorce After Wife. I read real letters and give people straight advice based upon my experience and the mistakes that I've made, the successes that I've had through a divorce. And today's letter is from Daniel. Daniel's a little younger than most that write in, but he's 26. He states, I ended a 3-year relationship 4 months ago, and now I'm questioning whether I made a mistake. I never caught her cheating. That's the problem. The last 6 months, we felt different. She became guarded. She was always with her phone. She went out more with coworkers. And there was this one guy who just kept coming up. When I asked about it, she said I was overthinking things. Well, our intimacy eventually dropped, and she said she was stressed. But really brought it to the head was one night she came home at 2 a.m. She had been celebrating a promotion, supposedly. I had no proof of anything, but it was just this constant unease about what was going on. We argued about trust. She said I was controlling, and I said she was pulling away from me. Eventually, I took up the courage and I ended the relationship. Now, there's no evidence she cheated, no new guy, no confirmation. I was correct in everything, but just part of me thinks I was overreacting. I will state I miss her and I miss the life that we were building. My question is, do I reach out and try again, or do I accept that something was off there, even if I can't prove it? Well, Daniel, I tell you this, it's not really about cheating. In my way I see this, it's really about uncertainty. You're not chasing her. You just want a clean answer on whether you were right. You want to know if she was cheating. That's driving this whole thing. That's what's keeping it alive. You're trying to close that open chapter that you have about your relationship, you know, and you see that there was no confession on her part. You didn't have any hard proof. There's no final explanation that kind of settles everything. So all this anxiety about that and the relationship, it just kind of keeps going over and over, replaying itself in your head. Everything, it's like you just want to know. You want to know if you misread it, if you pushed her away. That's not really romance, though. It's kind of like unresolved doubt. You know, if you had proof, it would have made it easier. If you caught her, I know you'd be angry. I would be. But anger is simple. This uncertainty you have that you don't know if she cheated or not, that uncertainty, it really makes you question, your judgments, your instincts of whether you were right. And I think that is the real issue we have here. You just don't trust your own judgment anymore. Asking the right question and forget whether she cheated. Okay. Did you feel secure during those 6 months? Those last 6 months? If the answer is no, well, then that's enough information. You have it already, because a healthy relationship doesn't feel like it's ongoing suspicion. Going back to her is not going to solve things. It's not going to solve the doubt that you have. Because let's say you reach out, okay, and say she agrees. Unless her behavior changes in some kind of way, a measurable way, you will always have those same questions. And those same questions will continue to resurface. You know, you'll just always watch her. You're going to be looking for that cheating. You're going to analyze every little thing she does and second guess it, because the problem wasn't just evidence, it was your trust. And we all know once trust is broken, it doesn't repair itself, what you're really afraid of, you're afraid that you threw away something good. But buddy, that is normal. But staying in something that made you uneasy, you know, that's just going to be worse for you. It's going to have a real worse ending. You ended it because something didn't sit right. Your instincts, your spidey sense said, there is something going on here. This is not the same person that I was with before. Respect that version. Respect your instincts because 99.9% of the time, they are correct. Okay. I can't tell you whether to go back with her or give her a second chance. Only you can do that. None of us here can do that. But I would say this, Daniel, your instincts were telling you something. They weren't a one off. There wasn't just her coming home at 2 a.m. one time. It was all these other things. There's no sex in the relationship anymore. She's distant from you. She's now talking about another man all the time. Keeps coming up. She's guarding her phone. All those little things lead to that big suspicion that something's going on. And most of the time when something is going on, you are correct. So you don't need a trial here to hash out whether you were right or wrong, you know, because really what matters is you had that suspicion, you ended the relationship, and now you have to make that decision. But if you make the decision to stay away and not contact her again, open up your life again, improve yourself, move on because there are other women out there for you. They're waiting for you. There are good women out there. Don't let a bad experience jade you. There are good women for you. Just get out there, improve yourself, and you will find that woman. And that woman, you will find the one that is for you. You know, and anybody out there, if you've ever ended something, without proof, you had that suspicion again, and you had questions. What did you do? Did time confirm your instincts, or did you try to get back with them? And I say to Daniel, just listen, take the advice of all the people that are going to write a comment in, and make your decision based upon strong advice from others who have gone through what you have gone or going through right now. And off a topic here, guys, this next video you'll see me in, I'm going to look totally different. Okay. And I say this right now because you'll see it. There's no way about it. I'm going to get myself a hair transplant. I'm going to do it not because I'm trying to look like I'm 30 again. I'm going to do it just because I want to. I'm 61. I'm divorced. I want to improve myself. I want to keep going. I think this is the time to do it. I'm starting to lose the back here in the crown and I've always had a high forehead, a six head, what I have. And I've always had a high hairline. And I figure, you know what? I will get it just down a quarter of an inch, take away the receding hairline, and get a little more in the back. Nothing drastic, just something that I wanted to do. So I want to tell you this now because the next video, you'll probably be shocked and you'll say, what the hell happened to you? Well, that's it. And if you want to get a little more about it and find out a little bit more, I have another channel. It's called A Life After Wife. I'm going to talk about it a bit. It's not a hair transplant channel. It's about rebuilding yourself in all different ways, physically, mentally, financially, travel as a divorced older man. And if it's something you want to take a look at, check out the channel. But just remember, guys, we're here to lift each other up. We can do that. So with that being said, if you have any situations that you'd like to share, that you've overcome, that you had success in, you made mistakes, email me that story and I'll make a video of it. Email me at talkingdivorceafterwife@yahoo.com. Remember, guys, we're here for each other. Until the next one.